Happy 420. I know to some of you that means absolutely nothing other than the fact that it's April 20th. To others, it means something so much more. Either way, whatever it means to you, happy 420. Tell them, Jack. I'm going to talk about that. I mean, if you got a PPP loan and you didn't have a business, you fucked up. But if you got one and you got a business and you didn't do no more business, then you fucked up. But don't start talking about people that got money. And there's a whole lot of businesses out here that I know get major money. They got money and they over here fucking over people. We're gonna talk about that. Not right now though. Not right now. But I do appreciate anybody on the Hap space. I appreciate anybody that's gonna check in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Periscope's acting silly, and Twitch, but it is what it's gonna be. One of the things that I don't deal with so he got shot outside. I'm not sure. Anyways, not talking about the shooter right now. We'll talk about that bit of issue later. I need to set this up because the only reason I'm actually still sitting still because I just got redirected. Get redirected. I don't keep moving. I used to do that shit. I used to get redirected on some shit and keep moving and then be way out of pocket. No, I just sit until I know my exact destination. Not doing a whole bunch of going around in circles and shit. I'm too old for that shit. So I was listening to Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless talk. And I know this is about to be the topic of discussion for a lot of situations. Because Deion Sanders has done something that should have been done a long time ago. But I don't know why, but he did it, and it looks like it's going to start a windfall of former NFL players, NFL stars, whatever, becoming head coaches on the HBCU level. Looks like Eddie George, I believe, just got a job, and then there's a couple other guys that are looking for HBCU jobs, or HBCU jobs are possibly looking for other guys. I don't know exactly how it works out. So, however it works out, they were talking about HBCUs, and I know I dig for white supremacy. I dig for it. I look for it, and I know people are like, why you go looking for shit? You know, if nobody's really bothered by it, why are you looking for it? Because if you allow it to perpetuate, if you allow it to perpetuate, eventually it will penetrate. And I'm not trying to rhyme here. I'm just trying to get two sticky ass words out. And I've been up a long time. So perpetuating the bullshit, eventually it becomes penetrating bullshit. Okay? So people need to understand that. If you perpetuate something long enough, even if it's a lie, it's going to penetrate wherever you're sending it, even if it's a lie, and it becomes an issue. So that's why I'm where I'm at with this. I don't believe that what Skip Bayless said was malicious. I'm not calling him a racist. I'm not calling him a bigot. What I am calling him is a white supremacist. And there's levels to this shit. See, a lot of people think a white supremacist got to be a neo-Nazi, got to be a Klan member, got to be this. No, 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 no. A white supremacist just has to be a person that wants white people to maintain dominion over everything. And I do believe Skip Bayless is that. I do believe Skip Bayless has no problem with white people controlling the controllable. So when he said what he said, I didn't take it like I was insulted. I just took it like, damn, he really just threw some white supremacy in there. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing because he threw it into the context of the conversation. It wasn't to rattle any cages. It wasn't to throw Shannon off. Even though Shannon didn't give him a rebuttal, he just kind of agreed with it and saw shoot his way out that spot. And then it went on for a minute, and I cut it off. But then I was like, well, damn, let me go back and listen to it again. Let me go back and listen to it again. And then I went back and listened to it again, and I went back and listened to it again. I was like, damn, he really did throw some white supremacy in this shit. They were talking about black coaches. They were talking about primetime, being a head coach, and other NFL players following on the HBCU stance. Not so much on the FBS or NAAC, whatever they call it shit, NCAA now. Because they're not going to get those jobs. They're not going to walk on to a major college campus and get that job. They're going to get the smaller college jobs, the black college jobs, and then get elevated. And then what the other part of the discussion was, a lot of teams don't want to hire these guys as assistants. I mean, if you're a head coach and pretty much everybody knows you never played football, even though you're a really good coach, but you're a head coach, then you bring Ray Lewis and put him on your team as your linebackers coach. Now, you got an OC and a DC. And I bet you the OC and the DC didn't play as many games as Ray played before college. So you got an OC and a DC don't know shit like you don't, but then you bring in a Hall of Fame linebacker, arguably the greatest linebacker ever, to be your linebackers coach. Who the fuck's going to listen to your DC? They're going to listen to Ray. And everybody that's on the offense, they're going to want to move to defense because they're going to want to listen to Ray. Because Ray has been there. Ray's been to the apex. From Little League to Super Bowl champion. So who's getting listened to? No coach wants to have that type of distraction on the team. They would love the attention, but that would become a distraction because the players are not going to be listening to you anymore. They're going to be listening to Ray Lewis and any other NFL player. One of the main reasons I believe that Dottie Davis did not hire Andre Rison as the football coach, she blamed it on some other dumb shit that didn't matter about the job. But I believe the main reason is because she thought Andre would have been a distraction for Ann Arbor Huron. Don't you think Ann Arbor Huron needed a distraction then? And then you're bringing in a Pro Bowler, Super Bowl player, native son. He's from, from Flint, Lansing, whatever. I don't know exactly where he's. I think he's from Flint. Yeah, he's from Flint. Because he played on that basketball team. And he's a great basketball player, NFL player, local guy. Why wouldn't you have him just for the notoriety alone? Bring him in here to coach. And who he's going to be able to pull in for staff and people that would want to come to Huron. Why wouldn't it have happened? It didn't happen because of white supremacy. She wanted to maintain control. Every coach she ever hired, she was able to control them. And the ones she wasn't able to control, they bounced. But we're not going to get on there. We're going to stay here with Skip Bayless. So Skip said what he said, and I was like, okay, I listened to it. Okay, I listened to it again. I said, fuck it, let me record this shit so I can play it during my clip. Keep in mind, I'm not angry at Skip. I'm not saying Skip's a bigot. I'm just saying he is a white supremacist. Just because it's harder not to be a white supremacist than it is to be one. Because you're if you think the way you think, you're just going to be one. But you got to come out of that suit. A white supremacist suit is really kind of what you're born with if you're white. You got to come out of that suit. So just letting you know where I'm at with it. Let me try to get to this thing here. Try to get to this right here. And once again, happy 420 to anybody is checking this out. Skip Bayless talking to Shannon Sharp about what the HBCUs need to do to become big. I thought the Skip explained it in one sentence, really what the get to that next level. I just felt like, ain't this a bitch? We can't escape. We can't escape. Okay, here we go. No. Oh shit! I turned damn Bluetooth on. Here we go.
And yet, to your point, that especially we got Eddie George, Ray, Ed, they've coached none, right? Like they would just suddenly be the head coach, right? But in college football, head coaching, what is the key element? It's just recruiting. It's a recruiting game. It's the living room to me, and all four of the ones we named would be powerful. Charismatic recruiter.
Yeah, absolutely. Either you just had him on your staff, Skip, because I think Ed, at one point in time, he was helping at the University of Miami.
Well, I think he still is.
Okay.
I think he was. I think he did last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't
can't
get any better recruiters than those guys. Skip.
Okay. So what needs to start happening is to take these jobs, and I'm just their ability to succeed at NC State, Jackson State, or Savannah State, or wherever it is.
Right.
How fast could they succeed? Well, they need to start flipping some 4-stars, maybe an occasional 5-star, to get themselves on the map.
Right.
And then this is just me. My mind's really going crazy places last night.
So this is where he went left. Hopefully it's not buffering anymore, Free. I'm not moving, so I can't do much about it to adjust anything. But I'm about to get on the road, so if it starts to buffer again, it'll be because of my movement. Good morning to you. So, yeah, this is where he went left. I'm going to go back 15 seconds, and you can hear the whole sentence. And this is where they make that little excuse like, oh, I wasn't thinking. Remember I said I was thinking of something. No. You meant what you said, and you said what you meant. If anybody lets Skip Bayless back down from this, fuck them. Most people aren't even going to know because they're not even going to catch it. But I was looking for it. Just because I'm always looking for white supremacy. So here we go. Go back 15. We're going to slide in.
Wherever it is.
Right.
How fast could they succeed? Well, they need to start flipping some 4-stars, maybe an occasional 5-star, to get themselves on the map.
Right.
And then this is just me. My mind's really going crazy places last night. What needs to start happening is that occasionally they would recruit a really good white player.
Yeah.
But seriously, because when I went to Grambling and did my big piece on Doug Williams and Coach Robinson, and I spoke to the team.
They only the punters and the kickers.
Well, but they had white kids on the team, and I was like, wow.
Our kicker was white, Skip.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
Well, so there's precedent for it.
Yeah.
Seriously, because when I went to Grambling and did my big get themselves on the map.
Right.
And then this is just me. My mind's really going crazy places last night. What needs to start happening is that occasionally they would recruit a really good white player.
Yeah.
But seriously, because when I went to Grambling and did my big piece on Doug Williams and Coach Robinson, and I spoke to the team.
They only the punters and the kickers.
Well, but they had white kids on the team, and I was like, wow.
Our kicker was white, Skip.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
Well, so there's precedent for it.
Yeah.
Seriously, because when I went to Grambling and did my big piece on Doug Williams on the map.
Right.
And then this is just me. My mind's really going crazy places last night. what needs to start happening is that occasionally they would recruit a really good white player.
Yeah.
Seriously, because when I went to Grambling and did my big piece on Doug Williams and Coach Robinson, and I spoke to the team.
They normally the punters and the kickers.
Well, but they had white kids on the team, and I was like, wow.
Our kicker was white, Skip.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
Well, so there's precedent for it.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about some, 4-star offensive tackle, white kid. If you could start getting an occasional one of those kids,
white guy,
well, then all of a sudden you could start to be competitive with the powerhouses, right?
Because Skip, it's a lot of time is that you look at the black colleges and if you look at, I think that probably before the last, say, decade or so, there were more players from black colleges in the Hall of Fame than Power 5. Right.
Yeah.
But what happened is that they saw when Mel Blount went to Southern, he in the NFL. Man, I played against Mel. I could go. And so you have a lot of guys going that route. Now we don't.
I cut it off there because there really wasn't any reason for me to keep going after Skip's statement. I could have just kept going on Skip's statement. I could have just broke it down to Skip's statement. But see, I needed to give you the context of what they were talking about. And Skip basically made it seem like HBCUs are just going to be HBCUs and at that level until they get white players, notable white players. And at this point on a football team, where's going to be your most notable white player? A quarterback. Probably not going to get top white quarterback coming to an HBCU. It's a whole different ball game. So the second most prominent position on a football team for a white player is the left tackle, the marquee tackle. Most quarterbacks are right-handed. So you need a left tackle. Why would the number one white tackle come to HBCUs and not go to a Power 5 school? But who's to say that the number one tackle is white? Offensive linemen being black are going hand in hand. We're not just skill players. We're not just speed players. We're not just power players. We're not just run players. Some of the greatest linemen ever in NFL history were black. Some of the greatest linemen ever in college football history were black. Some of the greatest offensive linemen in high school history were black already. They all didn't go to black schools, I get it, but they were black. What makes you think for us to get to another level, Skip, that we need a white man to elevate our team? That's where the white supremacy kicked in. We got to get a white man to elevate us past this level. Won't do it with Deion Sanders. Won't do it with Ray Lewis. Won't do it with Eddie George, Ed Reed. Anybody else that decides to come and be a head coach after being an NFL star, it's only going to come when you bring in marquee white players. That's what he said. Maybe just occasionally. Why would you recruit a white player? If it's the HBCUs, if you're trying to uplift HBCUs. And Shannon said it and Skip said it. There's been white players on the teams. Absolutely. There's been white players, the punters and the kickers. Yeah, because they're usually soccer players, rugby players. We don't generally find black players playing. I don't know what their life is like on campus. But it is what it is. They go there to get an education. They go there to play football. They go there to see some of the most beautiful women that they're ever going to see. And they go there to hear the best marching bands that they're ever going to listen to. And watch. Because it is a show. You go to HBCU. Well, we're talking about to the elevated levels, you need a white man. It's white supremacy. How about you just give us the platform, you just give us the same resources as the FB1, FB5, shit is Power 5 schools and see what we can do. If we got the same budget, if Primetime's got the same budget where he's at as they do at Florida State, he'll never have to go coach at Florida State. Even though I know that would be his ultimate goal. I thought they were going to hire him at one time. It was a rumor. But I figured they wouldn't give somebody under his belt and shows that he can handle this shit. Primetime might be a coach at FSU one day. Or if he just gets nice where he's at, he may not ever need to go nowhere. He might just walk off that field one day, put his headphones down and say, Prime is done with this too. Either go back to the booth or just go home. Raise his grandkids. But we don't need a white man to elevate HBCU football. Skip. Some bullshit. You only hear that shit. I mean, I'm looking at the top 10 NFL linemen ever. We can go with 11. Art Shell, Randall McDaniel. Art Shell 10, Randall McDaniel, I'm saying 11. Randall McDaniel 10. Walter Jones 9, Jonathan Ogden 8. Larry Jones 7, Gene Upshaw 6. The number one lineman ever was Anthony Munoz. He wasn't white. Anthony Munoz looked blacker than he didn't. And I know Anthony Munoz wasn't an African American. What if Anthony Munoz had went to a HBCU? Would Skip have said, you know what? Until you get some marquee Latino players to go here, team's going to be looking for you. No. There will never be a day and time where they say that put some Latinos on the team and now elevate the team. Unless it's baseball. Shit, you're right. Baseball. Appreciate you dropping those in the chat, Free. Hopefully it's clear now. I'm moving about. Nah, man. I just couldn't believe that he would say that. And I understand Shannon's position because maybe they can use that as a take somewhere. But for Skip to say you need, at some point, once, if everything works out, to really get people looking at this program, HBCU program, just like they look at the Power 5, you got to get white players. You got to get the white marquee players. Were you saying that we can't cultivate black players? I mean, the only reason that all NFL teams, all college teams aren't black because coaches just don't coach for that. There's enough talent out here that doesn't go to Power 5 schools that could play at Power 5 schools that's black. There's only so many opportunities. There's only so many scholarships. And these coaches got to play politics too. There's been coaches out there that damn near turn their team to an HBCU team. From top to bottom. All across their line. What are we doing here, guys? We have nobody saying stop. Okay. I don't want to hit one of y'all motherfuckers. These green jackets don't mean shit. Y'all ain't got a stop sign in your hand. and traffic just whizzing on by. You know, if I hit them, I'm getting cuffed. So yeah. Everything. I mean, I thought it was just going to be a take on what Deion's doing, what Eddie George is doing, what it looks like these other guys are about to do. I didn't think that Skip was going to take it to the level and say, and if they do really good, being black coaches, black players at a black school, to really elevate themselves, what they can do is go get a white guy. That's what I heard. If I heard it wrong, okay. If I heard it wrong the second time, okay. But goddamn it, I've listened to this thing probably at least 10 times now. At least 10 times. And what I heard was Skip saying, and my mind goes a little bit crazy sometimes. But I was thinking that if they really want to elevate themselves and get up there in good standing with the NAAC, I keep wanting to say NAACP, NCAA, same letters and shit. NCAA, they really want to get in the good graces of Massa, get you a white player. Get you a white player. I mean, back in the day, they said the punters and the kickers, all that was normal to have white punters and kickers. Just wasn't that black people couldn't punt or kick. Just that they knew, hey, if you know what you need from the garden, you go right to the garden and pick it. So they went to the soccer fields, they went to the rugby fields. And that's where they got their punters and kickers. I'm sure those kids were well aware they were just going to be coming to a school with mostly black kids. And probably enjoyed themselves like a motherfucker. Yep. So, oh man, I'm going to speed up and be nice. You know you're supposed to get over. Nice. Tangerine green's nice. So, that bit of white supremacy, like I said, it didn't get me upset. Didn't make me mad. Skip didn't hurt anybody by making the statement that he made. But it's just how easy shit gets by people. Most people aren't even thinking about this. They're not even thinking about it. And they're not going to think about it after the 5-6 people that watch this video see it. But it's still white supremacy. It's false propaganda. We don't need a white player to come play with the black players so we can get some notoriety. However, the white leagues did need the Negroes for it to become entertaining for people to watch. Because the white leagues weren't doing real well before the Negroes started playing sports on any level. And once the Negroes got playing, woo, things really took off in American sports. Oh yeah, they took off. But now, Skip is looking to return to obscurity, obviously. Because I'm sorry, y'all needed us to make shit pop. Who says we need y'all to make shit pop? That's what you want to think. We can get into some history about some of these black colleges, how they really were, and they cut them off and made them just the black version of the white college. That's happened around the country. Hopefully people understand that some of these black colleges were really part of the white colleges. Oh yeah, they were part of the white colleges, but since the Negroes couldn't go to the white college, they just made a little campus for the black people to go to. Just trying to tell you. We had our space and our spot on campus, but it just wasn't with the rest of everybody else. Yep. So it is what it is. Man, you hear about the two guys that got messed up in the Tesla? They weren't driving it. Ran into some shit. Two old men, I guess. Some weird shit. I hadn't heard a conclusion of what happened, but they said it was proven that they were not in the car. They were not in the driver's seat. They were like in the back, or one in the passenger, one in the back or something. I don't know. They were not driving the car, and the motherfucker just went off the grid. Literally. I don't know what it was following, but it did not. It crashed. Crashed. Tesla. Not good. Not good. I thought that was about to be the new Uber. I thought they was about to try to get rid of humans with Uber and Lyft. Like, Elon Musk make a deal with Uber and be like, look, I'll furnish all your cars. All your Uber drivers got to convert to my shit. You can't have no renegades out there driving nobody's shit. Tesla's got to be. You know what kind of marketplace that would be? You see Teslas everywhere. All of a sudden, Teslas get hooked up with the big three. Now you can get an A-plan Tesla. It's coming. It's coming. You're going to be able to get an employee deal with Tesla in a minute. Watch. He's got a major play. He's got a major play somewhere. I already see it. I think he's going to try to do one of the transportation things. It becomes a rental or something, fleet company. Or he makes a deal with these ride-sharing companies. One of them, Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber, Lyft. Somebody, anybody, is going to take him up on it. He'll be able to give you your vehicles at such a low cost, and you'll have autonomous vehicles. So if you do want to have a driver, you got a driver. If not, then that one can still run for the day. And then the motherfucker come right out, the door lifts up, they get their pizza out the door, bam. Or Uber, get in, Uber already knows where you're going. You can't make that car go nowhere else. Get some asshole that tries to do something, car's being tracked. You already know. It's going to be crazy, man. They're really trying to take this world to just whatever. Pretty soon we're going to have an autonomous world. It's like nobody's going to be doing nothing. The shit will be just like the Jetsons. Everything will be automated. Okay. Coding. 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 You better get into coding. The grandkids, they got to learn coding. They got to learn computers. Get Caleb into coding. Kobe start working with him. I can't teach him that shit. Kobe can teach him that shit. Caleb's already better than I am with an iPad anyway. So with his knowledge already, Kobe's knowledge, get him into coding classes. I have him covered. By the time Kai is ready to come around, start reading and doing shit, Caleb will be able to teach her stuff. Pass it down. You pass the drill. Pass it. Gotta restart families, man. Gotta start passing down what we have to the next generation. If you don't do that, what the fuck is your knowledge? Useless. If you don't pass it down to people in your family. You learn something and you don't pass the skill down. You can't pass the education down. If you went to school, you can't give them a degree. They'll have to go get. But if you like what you do and you're making out at it and this, that, and the other, why wouldn't you teach them so they can go the next level with it? And they may go further than you with it. That's when you really did good. And they're going in with experience, hands-on experience, because they've worked with you. People better start thinking. Think from the internal. Don't think from the external. Fuck what's out there. What's out there is going to be out there. You go out there ill-equipped, you don't even need to be out there. So your ass will be back home anyway. Get right at home before you go out there. Be equipped. Then you'll be better off. Then you'll be better off. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Absolutely. So Skip Bayless, yeah. Skip stepped on his tongue a little bit on this one. He's probably not going to walk it back because nobody on a huge platform is going to even notice it. They're not going to notice it. But what he did was he basically said, you Negroes can only get so big unless you bring one of us to validate you. That's what he said. Now, if he said anything different, then somebody please tell me. But I heard what I heard. If you listen to the whole clip, he said it wasn't malicious. I just think that, and he said, my mind gets a little crazy, and I got to thinking. He should have stopped there. I'm not gonna say it. That doesn't sound right. Because it didn't. We're talking about black colleges, black men, black football players. Why we need a white one? Even if we need one out of necessity. Punters, kickers, whatever they are. Why do we need the position that you're talking about as our marquee player to be elevated when I think it's six out of the top 10 offensive linemen of all time. And I didn't even get to Bubba Paris and Orlando Pace. And we've had a ton of black linemen. They're not even in there. Ton of black linemen. I mean, those are just the great ones that they put in there. Top 6 of the top 10 black. You want to do 7 of the top 10 people of color with Anthony Munoz. But I wasn't trying to include Anthony on that. We're not trying to grift to Ant. He was a beast though. Anthony Munoz was a motherfucker. I just don't accept the notion that HBCU football will only maintain its status until it brings in a 4 or 5-star white ball player. I'm not riding with that, Skip. It's all good though. I'm not insulted or embarrassed. I know who the fuck black people are to the world of sports. I know who they are and I know what they are. necessary. How you doing there? I'm moving. I can't quite see who that is. It says Banner Daughter. How you doing? Welcome, Banner Daughter. Coming from the half space, obviously. I appreciate that. This is a sports-related post, somewhat. Welcome. I haven't seen you if you checked out any of the other clips. But it's not just about sports. It's not about the score. It's not about the game. It's not about a win or a loss. Sports related because I'm talking about sports commentator Skip Bayless. Care to check back at the beginning of it, see what I was talking about. But essentially, I chased down white supremacy, Banner Daughter. I don't know exactly what that means at 51, so maybe it's the hemp. Hemp is definitely hot. So yeah, you're in a situation that if you believe that elevation for Black Americans and any type of infrastructure we have, it can only happen with a white integration, so to speak. That's white supremacy. It's white supremacy. I mean, just some of the shit that makes no sense to me, just like the whole UNCF getting its first Black CEO. Somebody's been running the money for the UNCF, the United Negro College Fund. There hasn't been a Negro at the top of the United Negro College Fund ever until now. They've all been white. What sense does that make? If it is the United Negro College Fund, how come we didn't unite to get a Black CEO? So, no matter what, the white man controlled how Black kids went to school all this time. Just like how we couldn't read or write all that time. All that time. Remember when they wouldn't let us read and write? And if they said we did, we would die? Well, we couldn't go to school, because how you going to send somebody to school you won't let them read or write? So that was pointless. So we didn't go to school. Then when we went to school, we couldn't go to all the schools. We could only go to certain schools. Then when we could go to all the schools, they just brutalized us when we went to all the schools. And it's been a cycle. It's been a mad cycle. So when we wanted to go to college, they made HBCUs basically an off-brand of many white universities. All HBCUs didn't come about this way, but there's been several. It started off as basically the B team, the JV of the university. And having HBCUs, you get the United Negro College Fund that doesn't just tell you that you have to go to an HBCU. Should have promoted it and should have said, you know what, all the money here. Because I believe you could get UNCF money if you went to a larger school. I don't know, I didn't apply. So I'm ignorant on that. But I don't believe you had to go to an HBCU to get UNCF money. I don't believe so. Hell, who makes that decision? The white guy? I mean, does he really love HBCUs so much where he's going to say, and to get this UNCF bread, you got to go to a HBCU? Or does he just say, I'm a businessman, and My job is to make this money flip for kids that want to go to school. And they do all kinds of shit with it in between them scholarship funds. You know, Lou Rawls ain't around with the telethons and shit no more. So they get their money in different ways. They have the telethons. I think it's just done a different way. It's definitely not, you know, an evening of stars with Lou Rawls and his button up all the way down to his navel. And his gold chain, his gold rope chain. He used to have it locked in a knot. That was some pimp shit. I don't know exactly what that was about, but he had his gold rope and he had it locked in a knot. Pimp shit. And his voice, it didn't even matter. I mean, it was bad enough that he could sing and take your woman, but then they put him on for a telethon and he's on all night. He probably made a whole lot of dudes feel insecure. Because women will just watch Lou Rawls just because of his voice. Just because of his voice. I mean, mesmerized by his damn voice. He had the baritone. He had the baritone gift. I wonder what car this is. It's got all the patches on it. It's a wagon. Some type of wagon. Crossover something. It's actually Ohio. It's a Ford. No, it's a Mazda. Some type of crossover, hybrid something. So yeah. But I appreciate anybody that's checked out on Haps, Facebook, YouTube. You know, hopefully it's been clear for the most part. I'll probably jump back on here. I'm going to have to make some stops here shortly. So before I get all the way into the city where Wi-Fi is scary, I'm going to cut out. And y'all just be good out here, man. Keep doing what you're going to do the right way. There's some fucked up ways for you to do things out here. People are proving it. This PPP thing, man, it's about to get real deep. Because I think there's going to be some people that's going to go to fucking jail for getting loans that they shouldn't have got loans for. Like, jail. Doesn't have a business, signed up for a PPP loan, got the loan, now they can't prove shit. Lou! Telling you, Lou. So yeah, this PPP shit is about to be funny. We're going to talk tonight about Sidetrack. I got to give me some rest at the end of the day. So we're going to sit back and talk about Sidetrack. Talk about their $750,000 that they got from PPP. Now I can see why she got 2 Teslas. Goddamn. Got 2 Teslas. I hadn't heard of a family with 2 Teslas. And I know there's some families out here financially fit. They could have 2 Teslas. I just hadn't heard about somebody having one in the north and the south. She got one that she don't drive just because she ain't there. Who has a Tesla that just sits? I like Jennings on that ass. Must be nice. Why used to sell that little motherfucker? That little Hyundai. I don't know why people like that crazy looking ass car. So yeah. And I got another white supremacist situation that happened. Probably won't be as easy going as the Skip Bayless one. We'll talk about that one on the next one. Probably be before the whole Sidetrack thing. Sidetrack people are lining up, trying to get this together with the people that, man, it's some flat out just brutality with some of these people. They're traumatized. Having PTSD from a job, it's a motherfucker. And these people have PTSD from working and sidetracks. It's not a good thing. And I'm not taking it lightly. That's why I'm not pushing them and egging them on for the interview. 2 Teslas. She got a Tesla she don't even drive. She like Diddy. Diddy said, I got a Benz, I ain't even drove yet. She's like, I got a Tesla, I ain't even drove yet. Because she's not there. She's here now. She left the Tesla in Florida. She won't see that Tesla till she goes back. But she got a Tesla here. She got money. How are you cheating people out of their money? How are you cheating people out of their money? You got 2 Teslas. I don't get that. Because I could care less. Couldn't care less. Whoa, I reverted. Couldn't care less. Get up to $50K in PPP money. They got billboards out here. They got billboards out here promoting motherfuckers. I'm over here on the Northwest. Hardly any black businesses over in this area. But you get a motherfucker with some internet access, get to poking around, you know you can get a PPP loan. Okay? Because everybody didn't get 100,000. Everybody didn't get 50,000. But I saw people within there like 12, 5, 10, 8, 15. Huh? I didn't even know they had a business. What's their business? And some of the business titles y'all had, that shit had me cracking up. Come on, man. Y'all ain't doing no consulting. That's what you call that now? You call that consulting? Okay. All right, consultants. Yeah. They serve your ass. I want to see what kind of consulting you're going to be doing then. Because they going to come for the money. They going to come for the money. Because now it's that second level shit. You got to prove where the money went. If you can't prove where the money went, I can tell you where you're going to go. Yes, I can tell you where you're going to go. Yep. So, all right, just went in the Southfield. Signal gets fucked up because I'm all the way deep in the city now. When I was in Wayne County, once you get into the city, it's just a whole different beast. We should have the best internet infrastructure in the Motor City. Motown. Big 3. Can't get no Wi-Fi signal. Okay, make it make sense. All right. What I got going here? Yep, I'll be there shortly. Oh man, and we're gonna talk about I got sent this one. The way political figures are handled in the media when they're black and when they're white. Yep, that's where we're going next. And it's gonna be local politicians. Fuck all the national shit. It's 420. Smoke him if you got him. You got him, smoke him. If you got that other shit, smoke that other shit. Just don't get behind the wheel. We like him behind the wheel. We like weed behind the wall. It's the Black Watch. The Village Voice. One love.